Now, Barrister Mbeseha, we have several times, countless times, called on the international community to intervene. Do you think the international community is doing enough? Do you think they're just going about the talk and not the walk to ensure that Ambazonia gets the dialogue on a fair, mediated table with La République, the belligerent party? Do you think they're doing enough about the walking, the talk they've been talking, Barrister Mbeseha?
I think the international community, as a community, they are doing enough, but they need to add more force. But let us first of all find out how we got here. How did we get here? From those pictures you see there, that was September 22nd, 2017. Seeing that crowd there, what will you call it? September 22nd is a day, in my own definition, I call it a day in history. We should call it the National Freedom Day. It is a day in history, a day in which you find these people marching there with their bare hands and branches. Who could have imagined that these people, is there any semblance of violence in that simple demonstration? Just seeing the pictures by anybody in the world, can somebody describe that as a violent demonstration? Whatever the reason behind it, no, it was a peaceful demonstration. And so I would say that that is the day. And remember, 22nd September was a week away from 1st October. These dates are important. When 22nd September was 1st October was coming, a week before, the people went out with branches to ask for their rights, political and civil rights to be respected. Simple as that. But what happened? That is the day La République du Cameroon turned millions of peaceful demonstrators into battalions of armed people. People were marching with their branches. The reaction of La République du Cameroon, by violent reaction, turned those people collectively into battalions of fighters. And the fight is ongoing. It will not stop until we get to the end. And since we were heading up to October 1st, October 1st, we never had those celebrations before. Again, nobody went out on that day to stand out even with the branches. Why? Why? Because our people will not let you even come out to celebrate a day written down in the documents in the history of the country. Call it our people de Cameroon or call it Ambazonia. They will know the people de Cameroon as we know it today without 1st October. But they will not let you celebrate it even with a branch in your hands. They will kill you. And since that day, we have celebrated 1st October in hiding. We have done everything possible and we will continue to do it until sense enters the head of a madman. These are, we Ambazonians, before you go to the history of 1954, 55 and all that stuff, we are peace-loving people. Between 1954, 53 and 1961, there was no military occupation, there was no military fight in Ambazonia anywhere. Why? We were the same trust territories. Why in the Cameroon under French administration was being ravaged by war. War by who? By France. Doing what? Trying to stamp out the people who said, who just were trying to march for freedom. To see where we are a trust territory, we need independence. The action was to kill them. And the results of the killing still linger around. Between 1954 and 1961, we had matured more than La République du Cameroon in history. We had a parliament, we had a constitution, we had elections twice, without anybody fighting another person in the street. The Republic had never had one. We never had any elections until after independence in 1960. And so a day in history just reminds the world and ourselves that white people who have lived as a people, who have behaved as a civilized people for time immemorial. And so your question is the international community taking note of all this? They are. The international community is a collection of countries. The United Nations and any other organization is a collection of countries. We know that they are taking note from what they say about this. Has the United Nations spoken about it? Of course, they've spoken about this thing more than once. The United Nations has called for negotiations without preconditions. They are prepared to help do that in terms of expertise and money. The United Nations 2019, the Security Council, held an informal meeting of the Security Council on this crisis. So could they be doing all this without knowing what was going on? They know it. Another part of the international community includes the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, they sent their representative to Yaoundé because of this. They see Mr. Paul. They call public relations, and so on and so forth. So the international community has taken note. Have they done enough? They have not done enough. In most crises, not just this one, it takes time for them to act differently. Because it is presumed that the government of Cameroon, like any other government in the world, like any other family, they have a family head, they have a government. They are supposed to be reasonable. Just like you and me. If you have a problem with your wife, or I have a problem with your husband, or me with my wife, they expect me, my brother, my sister, my uncle will come and say, that's not how you treat a woman. They expect me to be reasonable. They will not just come to
But
my house
Pastor
and take
Mbeseha,
women.
in that scenario, do you think just talking is enough, or do you think practical actions should be taken?
Practical action will be taken, but what do you expect practical? What do you call practical action in terms of the international community?
Maybe to
It's not
legalize
one
the
man.
divorce?
Well, to legalize a divorce, I'm sorry to go there. To legalize a divorce is not even as simple as that. Even a rare divorce, it's not simple. If you have a problem now, and this is can call me here. If you have a problem, go to call your husband. Don't expect to come out the next day a divorced woman. No, there's what they call in court. Once you're married, and you are married with children, particularly, you go to court for divorce. They will listen to your case. They listen to your husband. The next step the court will do is they will give you time. They say, okay, go and think about this thing. Because you want to divorce, what do you do with the children? You want to divorce, what do you do about the common house you build? They don't give you that time. Even when they pronounce that divorce, it is not final. They still give you time to see if you can work out things. Because they expect ordinary human beings to disagree. They expect human beings to reason and reconcile. In terms of marriage, maybe 2 years. That's a human marriage. In terms of nations, it will probably be more than that. It's not that they are not aware of it. And we've said it many times here. Other countries have gone through us. For example, Sudan. South Sudan, they fought for more than 30 years. Eritrea fought for more than that. So it's not that they're not taking care of it. So when we expect international action, we should not expect it to be immediate. I think these steps I've given are moving up to the final goal. When they come, I don't know. But that will depend again on the reaction of the people of Yaoundé. If we keep pushing and Yaoundé keep denying, there will come a time that they will tell you, no, stop this. Just like the last example I will give. You see what's going on Palestine and Israel. The problem of Palestine and Israel did not start today. It started in 1948. And of 1948, when they created the state of Israel, they have been fighting before 1967. They fought all the wars. The United Nations pretended to be quiet. Until 2024, you can count the years, just this month, that they are able to admit the state of Palestine as a full-fledged member of the United Nations. Palestine of all, with all the tentacles that you have around the world. So I'm just saying this to say that look, it is not that it's too late.
Easy.
No. International community acts, but sometimes what you call slow action might not be slow action because the action is supposed to be unified. That is bringing all these other countries together. It's not one person doing it.
True.
The United States, for example, cannot come and push out their only. France cannot come and do it. They need a concerted action. And for them to agree, sometimes it takes over to you.
So they're actually walking the talk, but this time in slow action, like you said. Well, we're really hoping for the best, that this slow action would indeed be a lasting solution to the ongoing war that has cost so many innocent lives.